G'day everyone, Warren from AQ Explorers. This week I'm in Van Diemen's Land. I'm doing a big lap of Tasmania, checking out a few old historic ghost towns and doing a bit of metal detecting, and we'll have a look at some of the spectacular scenery down here. We're nearly into winter, so it's going to be pretty cool. No snow around yet, but it's only 6 or 7 degrees out here at the moment. Today I'm going up into the mountains, and there's an old mining town I'm interested in visiting. With one particular relic I'd love to find up there, and I'll tell you about that later when we get up there. So we've got a couple of 100 kilometres to go. Get back in the car and head up the mountains. Well, I'm up in the Midlands now. I've passed some beautiful old stone ruins in paddocks with sheep grazing around them. Just went past a lovely old stone archway inexplicably in the middle of nowhere on a farm property. Of course, Tasmania is very old. The only older settlement in Australia is Sydney, of course, so we've got stuff dating right back to the very early 1800s out here, and lots and lots of history. Mining history, early settlement history, and of course convict history. Just magnificent country. Here's a good sign of the old ghost town I've come to up in the mountains. Very old piece of beautifully clear green glass. Here in this wonderful moss forest. Beautiful spot to be hunting. Quite cool, and the weather can change very quickly, and of course it snows up here in deep winter. But we'll keep going. I've found a few pieces of lead, nothing significant so far, but just a great spot to be wandering around actually. I just came across this old fallen log up in this high country. Won't look too significant, but have a look at this. You can see the old axe marks where it was chopped down. Perhaps they used the branches for firewood, but you can actually see it's been chopped many years ago. Moss has all grown up around it now. Nice bit of history really. I just got this awesome relic, very large caliber hull, and I'll get a head stamp off it and get a date. It's just falling apart in my hands. It's still got the black powder or cordite in it there. Wonder if that's a Martini Henry or something. Could be from the 1800s. I'm not real up on my ammunition per se, but that'll be head stamped. Could be an Eli London or something, I'm not sure. It's a 5860, pretty solid, repeatable signal you wouldn't walk past. I just, as you can see, I'm digging up here with this Anaconda NX5, which is perfect for this sort of soft, loamy ground. Not the sort of thing I usually dig in Queensland. This is a scratchy signal. You can see a nice, these NX5s dig an awesome plug in this sort of country. Really good tool. Just pop this out of the ground, and it's a pocket watch back by the look of it. Awesome. Yes, it's a pocket watch back. Small one. Maybe a lady's watch, I'm not sure. Or just one of the smaller waistcoat sort of watches that they used to carry around in the 1800s. I'll see if there's a maker's name. It doesn't look like it's, it could have something on the inside actually. Great, okay. Well, really enjoying this. We're starting to pick up the relics now. I've been here about an hour. Just so you can lie of the place. I've never been here before obviously, so it's a matter of wandering around, get your bearings, see what's where, pick up the bits of ceramic and glass and follow the trail of the old timers. Ripper! Well, this one here got a shallow 75. Actually, it was right where I put the detector while I dug that pocket watch. The coil was resting on this spot here. It'd give me a 75. Oh, it's a little bit erratic, but we'll dig a small shallow plug here. See what we come up with. Like I said, these kind of tools are perfect for this sort of country. Not really realm of the prospecting pick. Okay, well it's near the pocket watch, so good chances there are other relics here. I've got the, this is the Z-Link Garrett. So I'm getting audio in my MS3 headphones. I have to make my plug up a bit. A little bit inaccurate there. Should be on this side somewhere. Looks like it's a bit of brass. That'll be the target. That is the target. Hence the 75. Highly conductive piece of good quality 19th century metal. Maybe part of an old pot or a pan, I don't know. Anyway, happy with that. Well, in front of me here's the area I've been detecting. I sort of stopped wandering and just concentrate on this small area amongst these boulders in this pretty little spot. Got that pocket watch back, the rifle round, all 19th century stuff. No really significant relics, no history changing stuff. Haven't found a coin yet, but that's not unusual in these old towns actually. You can take some hours to find them often. But I think there was some sort of little encampment here. I mean, it doesn't take much room for a two-man show, so a two-man tent doesn't take up any room at all. You could just camp in amongst these boulders, get down out of the wind. That's what they would have been doing up here, the miners. I don't know, in winter you want a bit more warmth than a calico tent, but anyway. It's middle afternoon, it's starting to get cold. Well, by my standards it is anyway. I don't think I'm going to freeze to death, but I've got plenty of warm clothes. I'm going to do another hour and see what else can come out of the place, and then we'll head on to another spot. Let's just take this hole, it's fairly jumpy. What I'm showing you is not the target. You can get down in this hole. You can see a nice old piece of ceramic in the depth it's buried at there. I'll see if I can, there I got it. Old piece of plate, look at that. The beautiful old pattern on it. That's definitely a late Victorian. Nice. I haven't got the target out of the hole, I don't know what that is yet. We'll continue on. Okay, here's my dig where I just showed that piece of ceramic. More ceramic came out. Hey, look at that. That's like it's a tiny child's China tea set. That's just awesome. Oh, check it out. Well, keeping that. Anyway, this is my target. It's pretty sure it's a belt buckle. Yeah, pretty sure that's a belt buckle. I'm not going to rub it too much with these gloves, they're a bit abrasive. It may have a motif on it. Otherwise, it's some sort of canister lid, but I'm pretty sure it's a belt buckle. There's something... I don't know, look, I'll give it a wash, I won't be impatient. I'll give it a proper wash and we'll do some still photography later. Well, here's my next find. It was a large target. I identified a little, it was iron slightly, because it's so conductive. It's an old hob iron, the base of an old hob iron. Bit of ceramic in with it. All the relics are down about 7 or 8 inches here. That's a lovely old piece of history there. They've been looking after their clothes up here in the mountains. Well, I just came through that little forested section, and I've now found the relic I came here to find. We mentioned that a little bit earlier in the day. I didn't want to mention it and kibosh myself, and I've done it. It was a solid 62. I got the max with the 5x8. That's the NX5. Here's the dig, about 7 inches down. Chinese cash coin. These are so exciting to find in Australia. This is a half cash coin, hence the low number. The cast brass, I'll be able to get an emperor and a rain date off that and a mint. But that is so exciting to me to find these Chinese relics. I found them all over Australia, and this is the first one I dug out of Tasmania. These Chinese miners were everywhere. They're looking for gold, silver, tin, copper, and it wasn't just the miners that came from southern China that opened up a lot of areas of pioneer Australia in these really remote spots in the mid-1800s. With them came the merchants and the market gardeners, and of course their descendants. They're all over Australia today. That has made my day. It's an absolute ripper of a coin in fantastic condition. Little half cash, deep dig. Very happy with that. What a ripper. Well, there it is up close. And you know, as soon as I hit that with the machine, and before I dug the hole, I knew I had a cash coin. I just went got it because it was a solid 62 both directions. I know they come up 62 to 65. cast brass. That's a smaller one, but it'd be a good quality alloy, obviously, being that high in the cash coin range. Absolutely fantastic piece of Aussie history. The oldest coins will dig in this country. Very happy with that. Okay, we could have another cash coin. A little bit jumpy. But we'll have a crack anyway. And see what comes out of it. I'm only about 8 or 9 metres from the last dig. I've got some brass in between. Could have been opium tin kind of thing. Typical of what you find in the Chinese camps. Look at these awesome plugs this thing digs. Just fantastic. Okay. Fairly lamey down here. Gets up in the front of that hole, towards you at the camera. Could be another piece of opium tin. Oh no, what's this? Oh, it's another awesome old round. What I might have called a Martini Henry earlier on. That's a second head stamp there, that's great. I'll get a head stamp and a close-up and some details of that round. I'm back at the car for a break to warm up. I've got a little thermos of hot water and 1 tea bag. This is the 3rd time I've used it, so it's going to be the dodgiest cup of tea I've ever made, but it's warm, that's the main thing. Probably just warm water, really. Oh, it's got a bit of taste to it, that's alright. You definitely need this kind of warmth up in the mountains. Well, on we go. We'll go for a bit of an explore around here and see what else we can find. Well, I'm heading back down through the mountain roads now. These are just all gravel, high altitude rainforest roads. Just occurred to me, might see a thylacine. If I do, I'll make sure I get it on film. So we're on the lookout for Tasmanian tigers. Okay, it's day 3 now. I didn't do any detecting yesterday. It was just a travel day, and I visited a few spots, but the weather was really bad. I don't mind the rain, but when it's driving rain and you can't really film and detect in those conditions. Today's a lot nicer weather. Very cold though, it's only 4 degrees. I'm at 600 metres elevation, and there's snow predicted down to 1,000 metres this afternoon, so might get a bit of drizzle down here. That's okay. But no wind, that's the main thing. This is a well-documented ghost town. It's a railway junction in Tasmania. It's been well detected. I thought I'd come and have a bit of a scratch for a couple of hours. What I've done here is I've got some Google Earth screenshots which show old foundations, which are away from the junction itself. And as you can see, I've got my laptop set up. And here I can just check my my location with these screenshots, which allows me to determine the best place to start detecting. So I'm actually, I reckon I'm about 300 metres where I should be, from where I should be. Further up there to the north, there's some old foundations. We're going to have a look there first and do an hour in there, see if we can get some old coins and relics out of the place, and I'll give you a bit of the history of the area as we go. Back shortly. Well, I just got my first recordable, if you like, target in this old railway junction town. You can see down in the bottom here, I'll show you later actually, from what can't see it now, one of the old branch lines heading to the west, long abandoned, and I'm actually in the triangle at the moment where there would have been a lot of activity, obviously, loading and unloading, and I'll scout around and check out the houses and the station later. But here we just got a nice old clock part of a mantle clock or some such. That'll be probably branded. That's definitely 1880s, 1890s. I'll, if I get any information off it, I'll subtitle it. If not, that's just a mantle clock part. I just got another target, nothing sensational, but it is a coin. I'm just illustrating how sites never detected out, and this has been well visited, this place. But I think it's 10 cents. It was a 65 target ID. So it's going to be decimal. with a low number like that. I can't really see it. It's covered in the red clay. But anyway, like I said, these are repeatable two-way signals. You detect, any detector is going to dig that. So what I'm saying is it's always worth coming to these places, even though they're well documented and well detected. You always go home with something. Well, my low-key approach to that last coin find sort of understated it a bit. I gave it a bush clean and got suspicious. I could see it wasn't 10 cents. Because of the low target idea, I just thought it was a Cooper nickel. It's actually an old copper English halfpenny. It's an Edward VII. I think it's 1907. I am stoked because 1907, I don't know if you can see that. I'll give this a good clean and get some still pics. 1907 was the peak of the activity at this railway junction. Emu Bay Railway was at its height. There's all sorts of minerals and of course timber coming through here, and lots of people passing through this junction. Not just workers, but people living here. I can't even see which, that's pretty worn, but that's awesome. A 1907 English halfpenny. Let's get it the right way up if you can see it. It needs a good clean, but I won't do it here. I'll wait till I get back to the digs tonight. Bit of warm soapy water, soft toothbrush, and then I preserve these coins in sort of coating of light olive oil. I never do anything more than that. I never clean coins. So yeah, great find. Well, that's probably, I've been here 25 minutes. I've got the clock part on the coin. Very happy with that. Very civilised today. Got a little bit of milk. Bit of a warm up. It's the temperature's rising. The sun's coming out in little sporadic bursts. Pretty great spot to be out in the bush. It's awesome out here. I love old railway junction towns. I love trains and metal detecting. And got some great finds there already. That old coin was awesome. It's all the more exciting that I misidentified it in the first place. So just going to have a cup of tea and then move into another area where I can get to easily. There's a lot of button grass and one area's been cut or burnt, so I'll definitely do that. So it probably may not have been detected since it's been cut, so I'll have a crack at that and see what we can come up with. Well, this next target's awesome. It was a solid 90. I've just dug the biggest toy pistol I've ever seen in my life. It's a Ned Kelly. Oh, awesome. That is old. It's a Ned Kelly. It is big and heavy. Still got the trigger guard, and it's pretty mangled though, I'm afraid. This bit here, okay, that's the revolver chamber. I wonder if the barrel's still in the ground. It's a Ned Kelly cap gun, I would imagine. That is so heavy. It's just a beautiful bit of, what a toy. Oh, the trigger's still there. Awesome. Okay, well, I'll see if I can get the look at that. Geez, they made some substantial toys back in the day, didn't they? Look at that. That's fantastic. I don't think there's any targets in the ground. I don't hold any hope for the barrel, but that's really cool. Well, I've dug a barrel. The gun's in really good condition. It's just the barrel's come loose from the chamber area. I've got the carrot there next to it to give you an idea of the size of this relic. Those kids' toys in those days, absolutely awesome. And you can see here it says Ned Kelly. Can you see that there? Ned Kelly cap gun. I don't know offhand. I think it may date from the 1920s period, I think. Definitely this railway town was booming at that time, and the kids were running around shooting at things. That's just awesome. I'll get a close-up of that Ned Kelly there for you. You can see that there. Bit of Australiana. Authentic Australia-made Ned Kelly cap gun. Oh, that's just a ripper. I'm going to do a live dig here after the excitement of old Ned there. You can't hear this, it's on the Z-Link. I've got the carrot on Z-Link too, but that's a 75. And it's repeatable and there's not much tone roll. I've got a lot of little, those white 1950s screw top, soft drink bottle tops around this gun. Most of them you get a bit of tone roll, and the audio does break up a little bit on the side. It's pretty rocky here, as you can hear that. This NX5 has no trouble with it though. It's going to be a bit of a mess, but I've got a plug out. Yes, I've got no tone roll on this one. It may just be a bottle top. Those alloys always ring up mid-70s on a Garrett end of the AT machines. Where there's button grass. Roots, it's not too bad, but I've got a lot of, it's quite rocky here. The gun was in a really rocky spot. I don't know, wonder how that gets buried. Some poor little blokes dropped that. Almost 100 years ago, probably. I'm thinking. I think it's 20s, maybe 50s, I don't know. Pretty exciting find nevertheless. Okay, less than perfect plug. And in the bottom, we've got a bottle top. Oh, well, that's how live digs go. But these are the 1950s sort of soft drink lids. There'll be some Tasmanian soft drink. What is it? Pineapple Crush. Oh, that sounds nice. Well, here you can see the roadbed of the old branch to the west, and a lot of the old sleepers still in place. A lot of those look to be original 1880s, 1890s sleepers. That's the old line heading out to the mountains in the west. Right, I just got another ripper of a Relic. It's an old Paris braces buckle, what I call a Paris buckle because it's got Paris written on it. The patent date. That was a lovely high tone, as you can imagine. In great nick. Two teeth are still in place. They were always well made, these things. Oh, you can see the writing there. I think it said Paris 1850 something. I think that's the patent date. Nice an old set of braces buckle from the that's definitely 1880s, 1890s. Okay, you can't hear that. That's a very high tone, 86, 88. I'll do a live dig. I'll cross the track, so to speak, and I haven't had many targets. I had that Paris buckle. This is a very good high tone repeatable signal. I don't think this is going to be a bottle top. Have a look. Never know your luck in these old ghost towns. It's just great fun. This, you know what's going to come up next. Could be anything. Could be this. A tap. Well, that's fine. An old brass tap. And that's an old, very old style tap, as you can see. Well, that's a great find, actually. I like it. Nice. That's the area got the tap. You can see down, this is sort of the town, the back of the town area. I'm hunting around the edges of the town because I know it's been detected. I just started doing the peripherals, seeing what features I can pick up. There's no water tank down there with the crows. An old fence line off there to the right. The station itself is just up to the right here. We're in a lot of activity through here, so in amongst the button grass, I'll use that. I've got the little 5x8 on the detector as you've seen today. That's not the standard AT Max coil, but it's ideal for this kind of situation. Check this out, it's an awesome 9092. No wonder. It's a beautiful 1800s brass padlock. Oh, it's just complete. It's even got the scutching cover. Oh, it's just awesome. I wonder if it's an old railway lock. If it's an Emu Bay railway lock. That is one of the most complete 19th century locks I've ever seen. Well, I've personally dug, I mean. Okay, well look, I won't clean it too much here. I'll get it all cleaned up and we'll do some photos. Have a look at that. That's just in big hasp on it there. It's all brass, no steel parts. There may be some steel mechanism, but it's perfectly preserved. Wow. I wonder if there's got to be, well, typical 19th century stuff, there will be a maker's name or something written on it, so it'll be, I don't know whether it's government or it's private. If it's a TGR lock, maybe, I don't know, or an EBR, Wow, I'm stoked with that. Righto, I'll get some store pics. Well, here's a lovely old historic brick. BT&B Company. I'll look that up. And it's probably Bernie something. What a beautiful old brick. Machine made, but nevertheless it's nice to see the old stamped bricks.